Hello, Advent family, and welcome to Meet
In the
Middle.
We're here with you again, and as you can tell, we're shooting from a different location, a mystery location.
a mystery location in the surf shack down by the school.
No one knows where we are.
Except we're in the surf shack that's down by the school.
Hey, isn't this the surf shack?
This is
Yeah.
the surf shack.
Yeah.
That is hard to say. You're gonna make me say surf shack now.
Good job, Scooby.
Bravo, baby.
Hey, so today I want to talk about some of the things we've been doing and some of the things that we have upcoming. The month of May, we had activities every single weekend, and so we started off this Wednesday with a really fun activity. Pastor Andy, tell us about what happened this past Saturday.
Well, we had the butterfly plants available, over 200 of them, and we were giving them out as people drove by. And it was just great to see people after such a long time, some of them months. They were very grateful to get the plants. We had a lot of really productive plants we were handing out.
They all had caterpillars on them, which means they were soon going to have butterflies on them.
So yeah, Boca and all areas around better be prepared for a butterfly surge. It was just a really nice time to greet them and hear how they've been doing. People are doing pretty well. People are well physically, and you can see a little fraying around the edges for morale, but still positive overall.
Now, your parents actually showed up. How long had you seen them?
I had not seen them directly. I had not seen my mom directly for 2 months.
That's
the time
awesome.
period, and they aren't too technologically inclined. They've been watching the show, the worship service on Sundays, which is great. But trying to do other things with them, it has not worked out as well. So yeah, and it was nice to see they were in good spirits. And at one point, my dad did a dance, and that was kind of interesting. Kind of busted a move.
Yeah.
So
We're all dying to dance.
The spirit's up there, and we're just hoping for good reunions. That was Mother's Day, of course, so a lot of folks were taking those back to Mom or brought Mom along for that. And we delivered others around as well. There are probably 2 dozen left.
Yeah, probably about 25 or so left.
They're right there on
Sounds
the
about
east
right.
side of the sanctuary, kind of in that covered area. Feel free to pick up one. We're going to plant some over at Advent Square, I think, too.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was a good thing, and thanks to Susie Darcy for the idea. As a metaphor of us being in a cocoon right now, and although I've been eating like a caterpillar.
Oh, yeah.
But in a cocoon right now, and then we're going to bust out when it's safe and sensible, and have a new life, just like butterflies do. So it's a good symbol.
I thought it was interesting. My parents came by, and then shortly after your parents came by, and both of our moms just sort of looked at us like, all right, are you going to hug me? What's going on here?
They both got out of the cars,
They
too.
both did get out of the car
Yeah.
and kind of look at us, And another interesting thing, Pastor Shane, I actually had a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Pastor Andy's parents are named David and Susan.
Right.
My parents are also named David and Susan.
Right.
Would your parents consider changing their names?
I think they might. Shane's a strong name. It sounds like a good-looking person. When I say Shane, I automatically think,
Woo! No, your parents' names, not your name.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm very conceited. I think they might.
Okay.
They might.
Okay.
Mom, if you're out there,
Yeah.
I mean, Susan is a fine name.
Susan is a fun name.
Actually, my mom's name is Virginia, but her dad only called her Sue.
Wow.
And
Well,
so she has been Sue all her life.
Hold on. Stop the video right now.
Yep.
I don't even know I don't know what to do.
I know, we don't either. When I found that out as a kid, I was like, what? No, she's been Sue.
I actually don't know my mom's first name. It's
Mom?
Mommy, Mom,
Hey,
hey, you, please,
Help.
dinner.
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 Dinner is nice.
Dinner is nice.
Well, we have some other activities coming up as well. This coming Saturday, we are scheduled for our scavenger hunt. Now, I understand there is some weather in the area, potentially.
Possibly.
We're going to keep on our schedule, and if the weather prohibits scavenger hunting, we'll come up with an alternate date. But the scavenger hunt is going to be ready to go. And as we kind of already gave away the starting location, it's the park in Hidden Lakes neighborhood, just north of Yamato, kind of off Boca Raton Boulevard. And so that's the starting point. So if you make your way there, you can proceed from there, and you'll find all the additional clues.
All right.
And then what do we have the week after that? We have something the week after that.
Then the next week we have our virtual fitness challenge, the Quarantine Crush. And guys, if you are interested in that, which you should be, because it's fun, it's a great cause, and it's something to get you a little active, get you outdoors. The T-shirts and medals are awesome. That registration is actually going to end probably this Sunday, because I have to get all of the T-shirt and medal orders in. So if you want to get involved in that, get involved now. And we're going to be sending out another email blast tomorrow, so you'll see some more information on that. You can just click and register, simple, easy, and it doesn't matter what fitness level you are. It doesn't matter if you're a little tot, if you're a little bit older and you got some bad knees. Sorry, but anyway, if you got some bad knees, that's okay. There's some alternative exercises you can do, just a way to have fun, get you kind of active during this time. The Quarantine Crush Physical Fitness Virtual Challenge. All right.
And I almost forgot about the drive-through hullabaloo.
Oh, the hullabaloo.
Yeah, the drive-through hullabaloo actually in between those two activities.
That's right.
So we have that, and that's going to be an opportunity for you to come here to Advent in your car, safe social distancing. You'll stay in your car. Bring balls from home, tennis balls, softballs, preferably not golf balls because those will fit through the bars, and you might hit Pastor Shane with one of those.
Yeah.
And he's going to be sitting in a dunk tank, so if you hit the lever, you get to knock him in the water. That's always fun. We're going to have some live music. We'll have an FM radio station you can turn to, Advent Radio 88.5.
88.5.
That's right.
Advent Radio.
And you'll be able to hear us. We'll be able to interact with you a little bit. And we also may have a big thing just as a kind of a thank you to all of our teachers, our first responders, our doctors, our nurses, our home health care workers. We're going to make a big, giant poster. And so bring your own markers, and you'll have an opportunity to kind of add to that and be part of this big, giant piece of artwork that we're going to produce.
Awesome. Awesome.
These are really good ideas, and I think that we all want to get together. And although things are opening up a little, we really can't all get together safely. But this will be a way to do something together.
Absolutely.
And to experience, waving out the car, at least, at minimum, it makes a big difference, actually.
Oh, last Saturday was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just to see people that I hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about, why bother? This is how we can reconnect to each other, and the best way we can do it right now.
Absolutely.
So I know that some of us are in a mode of, I know talking to some friends and people, they're kind of in a mode of not going out and staying in, and they just want to be in their new normal has been of late. But get up off the couch and get in your car. All right, you don't have to do a whole lot of effort there, but it's still fun, and we'd love to see your faces.
Absolutely. Well, Pastor Andy, you kind of turned a corner for us here a little bit, talking about some of the avenues and ways that we're talking about and considering and planning for the future of reopening. So, talk to me a little bit about some of the plans we have in the works.
Well, this is just a very chaotic, difficult time, and we are just trying to faithfully, carefully pick our way through the information and the opportunities, the concerns. But at this point in time, with this county being put under a phase 1+ category, it does allow us to re-engage in some activities. So some small group Bible studies, for example, reunion groups. Please let us know that you're going to meet so we know. Please follow guidelines of safe distancing. I would suggest a mask is a good idea. I would suggest the 6 feet. We have a couple facility areas you could use, but honestly, outside might be the best still in some cases. So be considering that. As far as the school, elementary and middle school, they're going to be wrapping things up at the end of the month very carefully. but trying to end very positively. So they'll be communicating with the parents and have started to plan some chances for the kids to come at least back on campus for a brief time, and hopefully put a little closure to, obviously a disappointing end to some of their years, and most definitely to put an exclamation point over the commencement of the kindergartners into first grade. Always a highlight of the year, and I know I will miss not seeing them do New York, New York, which is their big hit song, because they can't get that close to do that song.
First grade, I believe.
First grade's the actual, yeah. And then 8th graders, of course, and we just love them. We've missed them, and they were doing a great job stepping up this year. What a bummer that we can't have the big celebration that we'd like to have. But we are going to invite them back and have some careful, planned graduation activities. I'm trying to figure out how to fit that FM transmitter in there too.
Absolutely.
Might fit into there somewhere. Now, as far as summer camp, we are now taking registration that could allow camps to begin as early as the Tuesday after the Memorial Day weekend. But we've told everybody everything is TBD. But we're finding people are interested. These would be very small classes, 9 kids maximum per teacher. That would be both in the early childhood school and the elementary middle school. Same classroom. When they go to other places, there would be no other kids there. Places would be cleaned in advance. Masks most of the time would be recommended. Obviously difficult to get toddlers to wear masks, so we have some exceptions. But we will be carefully making our plans. We're letting parents know, we're surveying people. Obviously, a lot of parents have questions, and we just want to get back to everybody. It may be that we can begin as soon as I said the weekend, the week after Memorial Day. It may be wiser to wait another week or two and see if that would give us a little more time to get it all figured out. The truth of the matter is that everybody's new at this, and all the various schools and camps are trying to figure this out together. So we're going to try to take the best advice possible, and we still want to make sure we can serve these families who, some of them have to get back to work.
So you're saying you've never led a multifaceted organization through a pandemic before?
I've never. I missed 1918 by a few years. I feel like I was 1918 at this point in time.
Now, Pastor Dave, how was 1918?
Yeah.
1918.
Very good year.
It was an excellent time.
Good.
Good times.
Good.
Yeah.
So, as we think about opening, Dave, the church, obviously there's people that are starting to ask, other than small groups, what might we be doing as a church together, worshiping or fellowshipping?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're working on plans for all of this stuff. We want to be ready and prepared for all levels, and we're hopeful and prayerful for the future. But we also know that we're experiencing some really outstanding community in ways right now as well. And so while we know everyone longs to be face to face, I really encourage all of you just to continue to get plugged into everything that we're doing. We're getting some great feedback, whether it's this Meet in the Middle or our Sunday services, or a lot of our small groups are meeting together on Zoom. As Pastor Andy shared, there is a little bit of an opening now to potentially meet in groups of 10 or less, and to do that with safe distancing. And so if you want some advice or counsel on how you might be able to do that successfully here, please contact me and I'll be happy to walk you through that. We're working on things such as, I know the garden has some great plans for the ladies in terms of prayer walks. We're working on how we can lay out the sanctuary when it's safe to have a little bit a larger group of people. And then we're also working on, all of our procedures and cleaning and safety measures for when we can fully reopen as well. So, yeah. I actually had an opportunity to talk to my good friend and someone that you all have met, David Grant, and you may or may not remember this. He's the last person who actually preached here.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the last person to actually.
Well, you
preach
can't make
this.
matters worse.
No. So I want to have a quick chance to interview him. You know, he lives up in Georgia, and they've been kind of in this phase 1+ for about 10 more days than us. So let's cut to a video of David and see how he's doing.
LPD.
Hey, David, how you doing?
Man, I am doing so well, better than I deserve. But yeah, doing real well. How are you?
I'm doing well. You know, this is the first time I've seen you since you were down here.
Do you miss me?
We do miss you. We do miss
No,
you.
do you personally miss seeing me?
I mean, I talk to you pretty regularly. That's good enough for me. But of course, I miss seeing you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, so you know, we are just starting this phase 1 of reopening down here in Palm Beach County. We're actually considered 1+. I think all that means is we're phase 1, and they also let us go get haircuts.
And you need one desperately.
No, my hair's nice and trim. My daughter did it for me. Looks good. But in fact, last time you were here, I shaved my head.
Yeah, you should have. It was for the children, though.
It was
for the children. Yeah.
That's right. But you know, you're in Georgia. You're at 12 Stone Church up in Georgia, and you guys are about maybe 10 days ahead of us. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. How are things going up there? How are you doing? How's your church doing? Why don't you share a little bit with us?
Yeah, man. And thanks so much for the privilege of chatting a little bit. Georgia is going very well in so many ways. I would say Julie and I live in an apartment, and so I'm looking out my windows, and so we're kind of contained. Julie got laid off at the very beginning of the pandemic. And so she was stuck at home with me, that's a blessing probably for her, to be honest. But anyway, we've been stuck in the apartment. We don't have a yard, so we every day will go walk, and there's some restaurants that kind of do to-go food. So we've been in and out. So we're probably stay at home, probably at C to C-. But now restaurants are starting to open up around here. Our church is talking about, we have a large staff. So we're talking about what does it look like for our staff to come back to the church. But I would say all in all, we're doing pretty well. Everybody I know is relatively healthy. I do have a couple friends that have been victims of the pandemic. So just the caution of that's super important.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, I know your church is considering you know, staff coming back and whatnot. Talk about different people's attitudes. I know people have a lot of different attitudes about what's going on and returning and back to the new normal.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy. I've been concerned for a long time about the polarization of what we're thinking about the pandemic, and I've heard some crazy things. And I got to tell you, we had an all-staff meeting it was a live Zoom call the other day. It was optional if we wanted to be there physically. And our pastor put words to and a word picture to what I've been thinking about a lot. I know probably a lot of you guys have as well. But he used the idea of a traffic light, where basically, you know, you have a red light and a yellow light. Is it yellow? Is that the middle one?
Yeah, yellow.
I just know it means go faster. So anyway, you got the red light, the yellow light, and then the green light. And he basically was really smart talking about our staff and our church and how there are people that are red light people. In other words, they think and they believe and they have a conviction that going out is almost ungodly. It's ungodly to go out, and there's a lot of reasons for that. So that's a red light person, and they're going to be the ones that are latest to rejoin us physically in church. They just are, and that's got to be okay with us. That's why we have the online services. I know you guys have done a great job with that. There's also green light people who they're kind of crazy too, totally just like, hey, why are we not meeting together right now? God will protect us. It's about Jesus, and we know God can, but they have a different perspective. And you've got, if you go outside, you will die, versus if you don't go outside, the economy is going to kill us anyway. And then in the middle, you have cautious people, which are your yellow light people. They're kind of, maybe not. And they're kind of testing the waters a little bit. And so what our pastor said that I thought was so good is not anybody is necessarily wrong or right. And maybe Jesus is more concerned about how we treat one another, and that we have gracious conversations with each other and let people come back in or stay in that they're ready. And so it was a fascinating thing. He said, we do online services, and basically, we're not going to, if people choose not to come back physically, whether that's late June or July or August, whenever it is, nobody, by the way, nobody knows when it's going to be. But if people choose not to come in, we're not going to shame them for being afraid to come in. If somebody comes to the service physically, we're not going to shame them for being there. So I think just this kind of Christian hospitality and generosity towards each other as we believe very different things about how the pandemic's going is really important for us to think about.
That's so good, and that fits with the concept that we say at Advent, love is why we're here, and
Yep.
how we can best love people that, it's easy to love people that think the same as us, right? Like, It's easy for me to love other Miami Hurricane fans, but the Notre Dame fan, that's a hard person to love.
Lovable, very lovable.
No, very difficult to love, and so the people that do have different opinions than us, and perspectives, and to love them and value them and esteem them well. That's so good. I really like that.
And also, I mean, there's no doubt that there is a portion of our country. There's people in our country that are highly vulnerable to this disease. And
Yeah.
I was pastor on call the other day, and I got a call from a family who had a mom that died on April 9th, and they don't know what to do about a funeral service. And so I think understanding this is a dangerous, difficult thing, but to be honest, because of our media and how there's all kinds of different information out there, it just depends on who you listen to and what day. So I think the generosity and the loving one another well, I love that. Love is why we're here. And I think love has to reign in the middle of this, and God's in charge of all things. We're going to trust him to kind of move us through this. And listen, I think 12 Stone and Advent, I think our churches are going to be more effective and more powerful through this and after this than they were before. I think God's going to do something amazing at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's I trust and believe that as well. David, I hate to bring this up, but people at Advent are saying it. Some people are blaming this pandemic on you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they are. And it not maybe not worldwide, but certainly the effect here at Advent. You're the last person to preach at Advent in a live service.
Well, probably the pandemic would be much worse if I hadn't been there for you guys. And so God's presence was obviously thick in the room. Wait, is Advent, are people is that just you talking to yourself, or is there somebody else saying this?
No, I mean, it's widespread. Pastor Shane has mentioned it. I'm sure others are talking about it too. I don't want to name names and throw people under buses. No, really, for us to reopen successfully, that probably means you have to come back down here again.
I'm in.
And preach.
I'm in.
All right.
Didn't take much to get me to South Florida.
No. I mean, we're our men's retreat in October. I mean, you came last year, so maybe we'll get you down here for that again, and hopefully we'll be open before then. So
yeah, hopefully so.
Yeah.
Hey man, thanks so much for the opportunity just to kind of hang out. Love your church. Love the people I've gotten to know there, and man, blessings to you guys, Pastor Andy, and all that's going on. And man, just keep loving people like you are. It's a good thing.
Thanks, David, and same for you up at 12 Stone. And stay safe. Give Julie a hug for me.
We'll do it.
All right. Love you, man. Talk to you soon.
See you, buddy. Bye.
Well, thank you, David, for your words, and good to catch up with you again. And I guess we're going to look forward to you preaching here again so we can reopen properly.
Yeah,
I guess that's the only way it's going to happen.
That's the only way it's going to happen. Clearly, this pandemic.
The second coming. They call that the second coming.
Oh, wow. All right. We'll roll with it. But one of the other things I've been thinking about is during this time, a lot of people are using the phrase the new normal. And we've all come into some kind of different rhythms. And so I was thinking about, the things that maybe have been new in my life during this time of quarantine that are maybe things that I even want to continue or stick around. I mean, one of the things that I've been doing is writing a devotion every day. And thank you to those of you that have commented and said that you really appreciate that. But I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for myself, and it is such a good discipline for me, and it's been incredibly helpful. In ministry, it is so easy to get caught up in the work of serving God that you forget to sit at the feet of God. It's kind of that Mary and Martha mindset.
Sure.
And you all are familiar with that story. Jesus is at Mary, Martha, and Lazarus' house, and there's Martha, and she is doing the work, right? She's in the kitchen, she's getting dinner ready, she's making sure everyone's happy, and she's doing great stuff. And yet there's Mary sitting at Jesus' feet. And Jesus doesn't commend Martha, even though we know she's doing good things. He commends Mary. And so that's such a good reminder for me to be like Mary sometimes and just start my day by just sitting at Jesus' feet. And so that's why I'm writing the devotions, guys. It's for me.
I'm in the same token. One of the biggest, oh, sorry, Eden, your bracelet fell off. One of the biggest influences in me in life is my father-in-law. He's an amazing man, and he's so biblically grounded. And he starts, and it doesn't matter how much earlier, if his day starts at 5, he's going to get up at 3:30. And I know it's ridiculous. I don't know how he does that, but he starts the day in the Word. He has a couple chapters that he reads or whatever. He journals. And that is something I've always strived to do. But as soon as I get here in the office in the morning, my day starts. It's boom. I'm down into I'm lesson planning, or I'm down into the school, teaching a Bible class, or I'm just getting everything ready. And so it has been so hard for me. But now I take that time. First thing in the morning, that is my devotional time. Just like you, I have time. I have kind of a detailed. Sometimes I do devotions on my phone, but either way, I have reading plans that I'm going through. And during this time, I can stick with it. I can really stick with it, and it's becoming more and more a habit for me. And I love that. I also try to quit my day between 4 or so, go and spend time with my family, and then if I need to come back to the office, do that. And so I've been doing that more lately. So I have that time every evening to ride my bike with my family in the parking lot. And so that has been a blessing, just to be able to, because a lot of times there's events in the evening. There's things I can't just hash out that time in the middle of the evening like that for 2 or 3 hours to be with my family, and I kind of can now if I don't have a meeting or don't have something else going on. And a lot of times those are more during the day or later at night. So that's some of the things that I've loved, and I don't want that to change. I'd like to continue that going, as well as some video stuff. I've really enjoyed getting back to a little video thing. I used to run a media workshop at the camp I worked at, and so I want to try to incorporate that a little bit more into my ministry going forward. So, yeah.
Awesome.
You took advantage of the situation and brought out a passion and a skill and
yeah.
put it to use.
I don't know if it's a skill, but definitely something I enjoy doing.
Well, and Judah, I was talking to him the other day. I saw him through the fence, and he told me you are now have worked your way up to the 4th fastest bike rider in the family.
Yeah?
Yeah, he told me.
The 4th?
He said he's the fastest.
That's true.
Then Malachi.
And
then I said, who's third? He said, Chloe.
Okay. All right.
And I said, where's your dad? He's after Chloe.
He's after Chloe.
Yeah.
All right. Judah, go to the corner. I'll be home here in a little bit. Make sure you stand on your toes with your knees bent. That way
Give him a little heads up and let him get maybe a mile on you. And
yeah. Well, if he's the fastest, it's going to take me a while to catch up.
You'll never catch him.
Yeah, I'm sure you won't. Yeah, I think it's definitely it's hard to sometimes talk about the good that you take out of a bad situation, because in no way do you want to skate over the really true, tragic, and difficult things that have happened in our lives, in our country, in the world. And the numbers posted this morning, they really hit me. Potential of 147,000 lives lost. Debate about the numbers, but everyone matters. Everyone that loses their life, a loved one, their health. I've seen some stories of people that are struggling their way back, and it's not over. I know that's not a cheerful thought, but it's a realistic thought. But it is important for us to take. As people of faith, we always, as you said, Dave, it's glass full, and we have to look in this time and see positives. And as I've looked at that, and Susan and I were talking about it, we're very grateful our kids are okay, that they're fortunate that they can continue to work, that they have their own homes. That they have their own homes is a really great thing. That they're being productive and they're taking care of their spouses and being good friends to people and keeping in touch with their faith. Leah gave a talk last night at Garden. I was so proud to see her doing that. So that's good, you know. When my parents are safe, Susan's parents are safe. You know, it's good things. You know, we're still okay. That doesn't put us in the highest proportion of people in this country. I recognize. Maybe not even people watching this are that fortunate, but in our case, the thing we definitely have been grateful for is that in 2 very busy lives, we've had more time. Susan usually would drive to work and drive back. Just the savings of that time. Now doing the telehealth, taking advantage of that. We probably would eat out more. You think you talk more when you eat out, but in fact, by the time all things is said and done, you may not. So we're cooking more, talking while we're doing that. A lot more time together, walking and doing yoga. Not my strong suit, but good things. And I know that we were kind of saying to each other, we want this to be over for everyone who's suffering and for the economy and for our church. But we will treasure some of the time that slowing down gave us. And like you said, maybe learning lessons from that. Maybe a lot of people are thinking about, maybe I need to slow my life down and make time for other things. I don't know. Life gets busy fast. And when we kind of get re-engaged, I'm sure that we will be really busy again here at Advent. Feels like we've been busy anyway, but
Yeah.
busier. It made me think of a song, though, that would kind of capture the time that I've been able to have with my wife, and that maybe some of you have had with your loved ones, your kids. And to say that something's true. The song title is I Love Being Here With You. And I've changed some of the words around to fit this time. I love the East, I love the West, North and South. They're both the best, but since we can't go, we might as well rest. 'Cause I love being here with you. I love the sea, I love the shore, but we can't go there anymore. It's even okay, we can't go to the store, 'cause I love being here with you. Singing in the shower, laughing by the hour, sheltering's a breezy game. Bitching and walking, actually talking, love to hear you say my name. I love good wine, I love cuisine, I'm adding pounds, at least 19. But baby, if you know just what I mean, I love being here with you. Not taken lightly, the news I see lightly, but I know one thing is true. In this time of trouble, my strength has been doubled, because I was here with you. I love the East, I love the West, North and South, they're both the best. But since we can't go, we might as well rest. 'Cause I love being here with you. 'Cause I love being here with you. 'Cause I love being here with you. Oh, I love being here with you. And that's true.
Excellent. I don't know. I'd never heard that song before, but I know you changed some words, but I don't. It felt like it fit just perfectly for our time.
Yeah. Well, it came to my mind that that's something that we can treasure, and even better when we can all get together.
Absolutely.
It'll be a reminder. Love is why we're here.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for joining us, guys. We will see you on Sunday, I'm sure. Hopefully we'll see you on Saturday, weather permitting, at our scavenger hunt. And certainly we'll see you next week on Meet
In the
Middle. Love being here with you.